there's a number nobody shows you. The real price of staying comfortable. Not the price in dollars, the price in years. Every time you choose the easier option, something is being spent, quietly, in a currency you won't feel until much later, when the bill finally arrives with interest attached. Comfort doesn't announce itself as a threat. That's why it wins so often. Danger you can see, you fight. Comfort you can't see, because it never looks like decline. It looks like rest. Notice it. Think about the last time comfort actually cost you something. Not the big collapse, the small one. The workout skipped because the couch felt better. The hard conversation avoided because silence felt easier. None of it felt expensive. That's the trick. Comfort never charges you at the register. It charges later, in a currency called who you became. It's not the opposite of ambition. It coexists with it, quietly, 40 small times a day, until the sum becomes impossible to explain away. Picture someone who wants to be in better shape. Not lazy in any dramatic sense, just comfortable. The bed is warmer than the gym floor, the couch is easier than the run. Each choice, alone, seems harmless. Comfort doesn't need one dramatic surrender. It only needs your default setting, repeated enough times. That's the part worth sitting with. Comfort rarely defeats people in a single moment. It defeats them in defaults, in what they reach for when nothing is forcing a decision at all. So ask the uncomfortable question directly. When nothing is pushing you either way, no deadline, no audience, what do you actually reach for? That answer, repeated across 1,000 ordinary moments, is quietly writing the story of your next 5 years, whether you've been paying attention or not. Comfort compounds exactly like discipline does, just in the other direction. One easy choice barely registers. Chosen consistently, it becomes a floor that keeps quietly lowering itself over time. That shrinking floor is the real cost. Not the missed workout itself, but what missing it does to your relationship with difficulty. Each time you retreat from something hard, you hand your mind fresh evidence that retreat is always available. Now compare that to someone who leans toward difficulty on purpose, not recklessly, deliberately, because they understand something most people miss. Capacity isn't stored, it's rented, moment to moment, through use. Stop using it, and it shrinks. This is the part comfort never tells you. It doesn't just cost you progress, it costs you capacity. The version of you that could handle hard things gradually becomes less able to, not because life got harder, but because you stopped training the exact muscle difficulty requires. Think of it like a callus. Calluses don't form from comfort. They form from friction. Repeated, tolerated, absorbed. Stop applying friction, and the callus softens back into skin that flinches at first contact. Discipline works exactly the same way. It isn't a trophy you keep, it's a callus you maintain. Every comfortable choice isn't neutral. It isn't simply not progress. It's actively softening something that took real effort to build. Comfort was never a pause button. It was always a slow rewind, quietly undoing work you may have spent years doing without ever noticing the reversal happening beneath the surface, one easy afternoon at a time, until the foundation underneath it is gone entirely. Here's an example worth imagining clearly. Someone spends a year building the habit of waking early, treating discomfort as routine. Then, slowly, over a few easier weeks, they let it slide. A few extra snoozes here, a few skipped mornings there. Within a month, the person who once found early mornings normal finds them foreign again. The callus didn't survive the comfort. That's how fast it goes. Discipline is expensive to build and remarkably cheap to lose in return, every single time. This is exactly why so many people rebuild the same habit over and over across years, never quite noticing that comfort, not circumstance, is the recurring reason the progress kept resetting itself. Most people blame the wrong thing when they slide backward. They blame motivation. They blame a busy season. They blame bad luck. Rarely do they name the actual mechanism, a string of small, comfortable choices that quietly eroded a foundation that took real, sustained effort to lay down. Notice it. Naming it accurately matters, because you can't fix a mechanism you refuse to identify. I lost motivation gives you nothing to act on. I've been choosing comfort by default for 6 weeks gives you an exact, specific behavior you can change, starting with your very next decision. Try this for 1 day. Notice every point where you default to the easier option, without judgment, just noticing. The extra scroll instead of the task. The shortcut instead of the full, honest effort required. Notice it. The silence instead of the honest conversation you owe someone. You'll likely be surprised how many small, comfortable choices happen before lunch alone. That awareness starts to change something real. Comfort thrives in the dark, in the automatic, in choices made so quickly you never register them as choices at all. Drag them into the light, even briefly, and they lose some of their grip, because you can't keep pretending a decision was inevitable once you've clearly watched yourself make it. Here's the deeper reframe worth adopting. Stop asking whether a choice feels comfortable or uncomfortable in the moment. Start asking what kind of person that choice is quietly building. Repeat it 1,000 times over. Comfort might feel neutral today. It is never neutral in aggregate. Nothing repeated 1,000 times stays neutral for long. This doesn't mean discomfort for its own sake. Suffering isn't the goal, and treating hardship as automatically virtuous is its own separate trap. The goal is precision. Choosing difficulty specifically where it builds something you actually want, and choosing rest specifically where it restores you, rather than replaces effort you were supposed to make in the first place. Comfort disguised as rest, and comfort disguised as avoidance, feel almost identical from the inside. Real rest returns you to effort stronger than before. Avoidance just postpones the effort while convincing you that postponing somehow counts as handling it. Notice it. Learning to tell those two apart is one of the most valuable skills available to anyone serious about growth. A simple test. After choosing the comfortable option, ask honestly whether you feel restored or relieved. Restored means you needed it, and you'll return to the hard thing with more capacity than before. Relieved usually means you avoided it, and the hard thing is still sitting there, untouched, quietly accumulating interest while you tell yourself you'll deal with it later. Notice it. That interest is the real danger of comfort chosen as avoidance. Problems don't wait patiently while you're comfortable. They wait, but they grow. The hard conversation postponed becomes a harder one. The health issue ignored becomes a bigger one. The skill left unpracticed becomes a wider gap. Comfort doesn't pause the cost. It only delays the invoice, usually with a penalty attached to it, one that grows quietly larger the longer you allow yourself to look away from it entirely. Notice it. This is why the phrase "I'll deal with it later" deserves far more suspicion than it usually gets. Later rarely arrives cheaper. It almost always arrives more expensive, because the underlying problem kept moving while you stood still, and standing still was never actually free. It just felt that way while it was happening. So the real question worth asking every day isn't what feels easiest right now. It's what is this comfortable choice quietly costing me without my permission today? Notice it. Most people would answer no immediately if the cost were visible up front. The entire problem is that comfort makes sure it never is, until it's already been paid many times over, quietly, in installments too small to notice individually. Once you see comfort this way, not as relaxation, but as a bill with a delayed due date, it becomes harder to choose it carelessly. You start treating rest as something earned deliberately, rather than defaulted to automatically without a second thought. And you start treating difficulty not as punishment, but as the only real form of payment that keeps your capacity intact over time. So today, look honestly at wherever comfort has been running the show without your permission. Not to punish yourself, just to notice clearly what it's actually been costing you. The capacity, the momentum, the version of you it's been quietly softening one easy choice at a time, without asking, without announcing itself, without ever sending a warning first. Then make one deliberately uncomfortable choice today, small as it needs to be, and let that be the first payment back on a debt comfort has been letting you ignore for far too long. Not a dramatic overhaul, just one honest rep, one hard conversation, one task done fully instead of half. The debt doesn't clear all at once. It clears the same way it built, quietly, repeatedly, one deliberate choice at a time, until the floor that comfort lowered slowly starts rising back up again for good. Notice something important here. This isn't about becoming someone who never rests, who grinds without pause until burnout replaces balance entirely. That's a different trap wearing the same costume. The goal was never constant discomfort. The goal is honest accounting, knowing precisely which choices restore your capacity and which ones quietly drain it while disguised as harmless relaxation. Once you can tell the difference clearly, comfort stops being dangerous and simply becomes a tool you use on purpose, not a default you fall into by accident, day after day, without ever choosing it consciously at all. That distinction, chosen versus defaulted, changes almost everything about how your life compounds from here forward. Chosen comfort restores you for the next hard thing. Defaulted comfort quietly replaces the hard thing altogether, and you won't notice the replacement happening until months later, when the hard thing has grown far larger than it needed to. Notice it. So build a habit of checking your defaults regularly, not obsessively, just honestly, the way you'd check a bank balance before it surprises you. Ask what you reached for today when nothing was forcing a decision either way. If the honest answer troubles you, that's useful information. Not a reason for shame. Shame rarely changes behavior. Clear information usually does, especially once you decide to actually act on what that information keeps quietly telling you, day after day. Notice it.